This is the Professional Stepdad, a place where we share stories, strategies, and ideas for men just like you to help answer that one important question: how can I be a better stepdad? Position that you're in. So, I'm going to start a little bit of a fight today. Hope you're okay with that, because I want to be real clear and honest about a couple things. First and foremost, if you don't want to be in the situation that you're in right now, right? If you don't want to be there, fucking leave. Stop wasting the time of biomom. Stop wasting the time of the children. Stop wasting the time of the family. Just leave, dude. I give you full permission to get out of there. Because if all you do is complain and all you do is bitch, moan, and whine, and if all you do is want to blame others for everything that's going wrong or that's not working in your situation that you're in, it's real simple. Sit your partner down and explain, hey, I'm not man enough to be here. I need to go. I can't handle this obligation. And it's not an obligation, is it? Ooh, that's even better. Yes. Okay. I can't handle it. I want to go. And yes, it's going to suck, but trust me, it's going to be a lot better off than you sitting around for the next 2 years and getting to a point where you snap or she snaps or you cheat or she cheats, and the kids are going to consistently hate you and you just don't feel like you'd be there. All the things that could possibly happen, just leave. I'm telling you right now, from all the stepdads who are putting in the work and the time and the energy and the effort to be the best men that we can be, I give you permission to leave. Okay. Now that those guys are gone. Gentlemen, over the last week, from writing and kind of developing a few things, I realized that there is a common theme that is occurring within a lot of stepdads out there and men in the position of being a step parent. You are labeling your life and you're labeling the kids and the family and the scenario as an obligation as opposed to an opportunity. This life that we chose to be in, this job that we raised our hands for and that we took on, is more about the adventure and about the opportunities that is within the adventure that will develop into a stronger dynamic family that will stand the test of time. I mean, if I was to write that on a t-shirt, that is the best way I can say it. But for a lot of you out there, you see your life as an obligation. You see your situation or the current circumstances that you're in with the children or with your partner or with biodad as some sort of it's almost like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like an insect outside, like a mosquito, right? I mean, you could stay outside for a while, but, they get on your nerves and you eventually come inside. So, man, am I saying that the correct way? It's not obligation versus opportunity. If you look at your life and you look at your family as an obligation, then you will treat everything as an obligation. You will decide, you will make any decisions, you will react and act based off of the obligation that you feel like you're in. Like you're obligated to be there because you said you wanted to be there and you don't want to be the jerk that leaves. So you're going to do whatever it takes no matter what, even if it means being miserable. And that becomes your obligation until you break. And that cannot be the way it is. But if you can look at your life as an opportunity for growth and an opportunity for change and an opportunity to change the inherited beliefs and values that the children would have had, but now that you're in the picture, they are going to believe and understand that they can do, be, and have anything they want in the world. Your partner is going to believe that they are beautiful and they are wonderful and they are creative and they are valued and they are worth it because you are instilling those values within them. Then that is going to equal success within your journey, along your journey. So, but looking at everything as an obligation, like you're obligated to be there because I'm obligated to listen because, is not a way to live. It's not a good way to live, at least mainly because nothing feels genuine, and nothing feels unique, and everything feels forced. If you're in a relationship right now where everything feels forced, then change that energy that you're placing towards that feeling and flip it, right? And flip it either in a way of power where you can grow and really communicate properly with your partner and with your kids and with everybody around you, or use that exact same force and force your ass out of the family. Because I'm telling you, if you don't, you are doing everybody else a disservice. I know it feels like it's all about you right now, stepdad. I know it feels like it's all about what you're doing and how you're handling things and what they won't let you do and what they are saying about you. I know that's what it feels like, but let me be like right up in your face about it. It's nothing to do with you and everything to do with them. Because they're doing their very best to want to trust you. They're doing their very best to want to value you and to hold you at a high standard. But you have so many things, so many layers to cut through. And the only way you're going to get to that core, that caramel candy center, is by being patient. Imagine if you were, there's so many different, I have so many different hypotheticals that I could give you that it kind of confuses me because it's just applicable to a lot of different hypothetical scenarios I can give you when it comes to the patience that is required in order to get to the good stuff, right? To the good stuff. And many of you will never make it there because you see your family as an obligation. You see everything as an obligation and you don't see it as an opportunity. So obligation versus opportunity. Where do you land? Where do you fall within that spectrum? Are you living it from feeling like you're obligated to do everything, or are you seeing everything as an opportunity? I'm curious because there are so many different versions of questions and complaints and bitches and all this stuff on Facebook specifically, because that's where all these groups live. There are so many different versions of the same complaint that after a while, after reading so many of them, you start to wonder, wait, are they really even looking for advice? Like, do they really want to do anything about what they're complaining about? Like, do they want to change it? Or are there so many unhappy men, stepdads, that are just there because they feel obligated that they have to be there? Because, they're the way they were raised taught them to never give up or to keep fighting through or do whatever it takes, or I'm not a quitter. I wonder how many men are in that position specifically because of those shitty phrases that they were told consistently throughout their life. Brings me to a cool point. I'll give you one hypothetical about this. So a friend of mine who's always, he's wanting to find love, right? He's wanting to find the woman of his dreams. And he's at that point of his life, he's in his 40s where he doesn't care if they have kids or not, right? He's there. This is the decisions that he's made. He just wants to find somebody to make him happy. But there's this girl that he keeps in his life that uses him for money and for when she's lonely or, when she's bored. He pops him. He pays for things. He takes care of everything. And I was real honest with him. Like, look, man, you cannot keep this woman in your life anymore because you are not making any room for the person that's supposed to be in your life. And that's where a lot of you sit. Like you're holding on to so many things that hold no value to you because maybe because you feel obligated that you can't let them go. Like you've taken care of them your whole life. You've looked after them your whole life. Or you're obligated to not say no to anybody. Therefore, you say yes to everybody. So if you don't make room in your life for the person that you want to be with for the rest of your life, they can never find you because that person, okay, this is me telling him this, that person that you're going to be with, that you're going to fall in love with, that you're going to live with is on their way, or maybe they're even close, or maybe they're already in your life. But because you are so blinded by your simple obligations of keeping on and holding on to somebody that you feel like has been there for you, his excuse was, dude, she's always there for me. She's always there to talk to me. She listens to what I have to say. And I'm like, does she though? Does she? Or does the conversation usually turn to her and things that she needs? And he's like, well, yeah, I'm there to listen to her. I go, dude, that's not somebody you want in your life. That person is using you. maybe not just for money or for sex, but maybe for just being that person, right? That is always going to agree because you're so afraid of loser, because you're so afraid of what might happen. And then that brings me to the point of him not wanting to be fully alone. He doesn't feel like he's fully alone if he has this poison girl in his life. So I was real honest. Like I said, brother, if you don't make room for the person that is supposed to be in your life, they'll never be able to come. They will go right over and right through, and you won't be aware. You'll never see it, and away it goes. And the next thing you know, 10 years pass and you're still alone. But make no mistake about it, guys. If you don't first learn to love yourself like fully and forgive yourself fully for your past transgressions and mistakes, then you can never fully love somebody else. I mean, all this stuff is so simple, yet so complicated, because the complication comes from the work needed, and it demands your patience and time and energy in order to fully pay out you the benefits of putting in the work. So if you are living in the side of obligation, again, remember, pretend there's a split screen here. If you're living in the side of obligation, you feel like you're obligated to do things, you're obligated to stay, you're obligated to do this, do that, you'll never get anywhere. But if you see things as an opportunity, you'll get everywhere. So if you break down the relationship that you're in as a stepdad right now, currently where you're at, with your relationship with yourself, with your kids, and with your wife or your partner, break down those relationships. Forget about the outside relationships that you have. Forget about your friends, their friends, her mom, your mom, bio dad, cousins and uncles. Forget all about them. For me, just for 1 minute, focus only on right now, what you can handle and control, and that's in between your ears, which is your mind, which is at your hand extension, which is your partner, and which is right about here, which is your family. Don't live outside these walls anymore. So many of you are allowing everything outside these walls to come in and just poison the shit out of your life and your mind. Let me be, again, another upfront thing for you, gentlemen. Listen, stop getting so mad at her for not trusting you yet. Stop getting so mad at her for doing things that don't make sense. Stop getting so mad at her because she doesn't feel beautiful. It's not her fault that all this stuff happened to her. All these feelings, the things that were told her happened to her. It's not her fault. Okay? Just like it's not your fault. You didn't do anything. You guys are both in a brand new position and you need to start from zero. Stop starting from 50% of who you were before you entered the relationship, and with her, 50% of who she was, because you guys are bringing in old shit. You're bringing in old stuff, and you can never move forward. You're going to find yourself in a very repetitive situation that's going to end in bye-byes. So, find the opportunities to grow. Find the opportunities to show that you can be the best. Find the opportunities. But you cannot find these opportunities. You won't even be able to see opportunities if all you do is look at everything as an obligation. It's very important to understand that, because embedded in all these questions and these comments and these complaints lies the truth. And the truth is that most people don't want to change. And the ones that do want to change don't want to put in the work. And the ones that do want to put in the work don't have the patience. But there are those few that can get to a point in their relationship where it all pays off. So stop complaining so much, guys. I mean, how many times have I got to say this? Stop freaking seeking the advice out of people who are only going to give you their beliefs. Like there's not a lot of building blocks on top of the advice given that I see. There's some good stuff out there. There's some good stuff. There's some stuff that I read, I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. Pretty good. But sometimes the questions that are asked and the answers that are given are so far separated from the truth, but because they feel good, it gives the person that is complaining that moment of like I can do it, like that feeling that yes. And it gives that person that's giving the advice going, man, that felt really, really good. But if the work isn't being done within their mind and with their partner and with their family, if the work isn't being done, the work that I'm always talking about, if that is not being done, you are going to be groundhogging day the shit out of your life. Things are constantly going to stay the same. They might smell different, they might look different, but they're going to be the same. Because you're not willing to put in the work. There's a lot of times I'm reading about this punishment stuff. You know, my partner doesn't want me to punish, or she gets really weird that I want to talk about it. Or, hey guys, what do you guys think about punishing? And what do you think about how you handling the kids when it comes to punishments and stuff? You know, because my partner doesn't want me to be a part of it at all. She's afraid of X, Y, and Z. They're asking the wrong questions. They shouldn't be asking, hey guys, what's a great way to punish my children? They should be asking, hey guys, what's a great way to communicate with my child? My kid is really acting up and he's not listening to a word I say. Does anybody have any ideas of what's the best way I can get him to listen to me? Hey, stepdad, I think you need to be asking a better question. The better question is, hey guys, what's the best way that I could listen to him? Because he's obviously trying to tell you something, but you're not listening. You're taking everything so personal. Why? Because you feel like you're owed it? Like they owe you the respect? You've been there 2 weeks, been there 2 years, you've been there 5 years, you still ain't gained that full respect yet. You haven't done the proper work. For most of you that are year 5, you haven't even done the work yet. You're still year 0. But I've been in the family 5 years. Yeah, but what kind of growth have you seen? How's your relationship? Do they talk to you? Do they open up to you? Do you find yourself doing the same kind of stuff? Maybe a little bit's changed because they got older. You know, maybe you've hit that point where you're like, they're older now, they can take care of themselves. They're in their room, that's just what teenagers do. No, I can tell you right now from personal experience, no, not true at all. Not true at all. So instead of asking the questions of how can I punish? How can I discipline? Here's a good one. I don't know what to do. My son went off to, Biodad's house, and every time he comes back, man, he's just a real jerk. Treats me like shit. Treats mom like shit. What do I do? Do I say something to the Biodad? Or I can't even talk to the kid. He doesn't want to listen. God, I wish I can just give you the answer every time and that it works for you. Here's the thing. Biodad is trying to poison your life. You are allowing it to happen. Therefore, your actions and your reactions are completely centered and based on what you think he, meaning Biodad, may or may not have said to you that is going to cause the child to do what they're doing. But if you've taken the time to work on yourself to where outside circumstances no longer bother you, if you've taken the time to build a strong partnership with your partner so that teamwork is the core and the bread and butter of your family, if you've taken the time to learn how to communicate with your children, when they do act up, because all children do, you will know how to respond in a way that will just continually build on the trust. Because that's what we're trying to do, dads. We're trying to build trust. You think you're trying to maybe not replace Biodad, because that's not what I want to say, but you think that you're like doing them a favor of being there. You want to really do them a favor? Find the opportunity of growth, help them achieve the dreams that they want, but more importantly, lead by example. Show them. What's the best way that I could teach my 4 girls how a man should treat them? By treating them like how a man should treat them. Open the doors for them. Show manners. More importantly, give their mother love in front of them so they can see. What's the best way to show my son how to respect women and how to be a good man? By leading by example, by showing them. But here's the thing. You can't ask your children to respect you. You can't ask your wife to trust you. You can't ask the outside families to believe in you. If you don't believe in any of that for you, if you haven't done the work on you, if you don't trust yourself, if you don't believe in yourself, if you don't understand your worth and your value and your worth when you step into that family is 0. Your job is to build that stock up. so that when it trades 10 years later, it's trading at $100, $200. Right now, it's like a penny stock. There's not a lot of value in it because you haven't shown longevity within the market, which is your family. It's a little financial hypothetical for you. So, opportunity versus obligation. Are you seeing this time as an opportunity to become a better you, to develop a better them, or us, develop a better us, which is you and your partner, and then to really fine-tune the them part, which is the relationship with your kids? Here's a great start. Stop referring to them as your stepkids. Try. Maybe not out loud. Let's say you don't do it out loud. Don't do it out loud. If it makes you uncomfortable, don't do it out loud. Do it in your head. Try placing a different value system on them right off the bat so you don't see them as an outsider the entire time. Try. What's the worst that can happen? Okay, now what's the best that can happen? Right. So opportunity versus obligation. Hope that sinks in for you guys. Episode 37. Always fun to talk. Always fun to chat. Always fun to get on here and share this information, guys. Please, if you can, share, like, post. Go to YouTube, subscribe so you know when I'm posting new videos. More important, as always, and I'm always giving this opportunity to you, and the feedback that I get from it is very small because too many of you are afraid to talk. It's okay. I'm here to listen no matter what. If you want to talk to me, if you want to share your journey, and I don't want, FYI, just so we're clear, I don't want to hear you bitch. I don't want to hear what's not working. If you want to call me and talk to me and you want to get into a real discussion and a conversation about how to better your family and how to better your relationships and how to better the communication with your kids, I am all ears. If you want to do anything else other than that, there are plenty of places you can go do that. And Facebook is like the home for it. And guess what? You're going to find so many people like you out there that love to complain that it's going to make you feel warm and comfortable inside. And hey, maybe that's how you want to feel because you feel obligated in your situation and you don't find opportunities. Oh, last thing. This is how you handle it. If you find yourself on the opposite sides of the spectrum that you don't want to be on, right? You are also doing that in your professional life and with your friends and so on and so forth. Don't believe me? Take a deep dive. When's the last time you took a deep dive into who you are? Probably never. I'm curious. Again, so if you want to talk, by all means, shoot me a message. I would be more than willing to get you on the show. If you want to debate me, shoot me a message. I'd be more than willing to get you on the show. But more important, guys, whether you feel like you are obligated or whether you are finding the opportunity, whether you find yourself in a position of real constant growth that is just awesome, or you find yourself struggling, either way, a stepped out of 10 years, I am proud of you. I am proud of you for doing something that most men would run from. And that says something about you. Talk to you guys soon.
Quiet on the set, please. Thank you, everybody.